What's up, my friend? Welcome to another episode of Optimize Your Body podcast. I hope you're good. And yes, today, basically, I wanted to talk about, obviously, we've got Christmas coming, and I don't know about you, my friend, right? But I'm really looking forward to relaxing, taking a bit of time off, chilling. I might drink some alcohol. As you may or may not know, I haven't drank for 6 months of this year. I didn't drink any alcohol. I don't drink much alcohol anyway. I like to have a few drinks here and there, but it's been good. I felt better for it, but I'm definitely going to let my hair down, probably drink some alcohol over Christmas and whatnot, probably eat a bit more food than I like to. And I promote this to clients as well, my friend. You know, it's like, right, you work hard, you want to chill, you want to indulge, you want to spend time with loved ones. But on the flip side, there's a fine line between enjoyment and self-sabotage, right? We've all been there, right? Where you basically end up going overboard over the festive period or whatever other special occasion. And you finish the year, for example, after Christmas when you've gone overboard and you feel like shit, right? So we want to, with my clients, for example, we like to anticipate any issues before they get here, right? We like to be ahead of the curve, my friend, right? So let's get stuck into like what the biggest kind of problems are, right, at Christmas. Let's be honest, right? If you're listening to this, the likelihood is you work hard, you know what I mean? And you want to relax over Christmas. You're a normal person, right? We all want to chill at times. We need that shit, right? But a lot of times we get focused a bit more on the food than we are our actual family, right? You know what I mean? You get so excited about the food and then we're just like, yay, let me have some of this food. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. And before you know it, you're just, stuffing food into your mouth, drinking loads of alcohol, and you're not really as present as you could be, right, with your loved ones. And then what you notice is like any kind of moderation can easily go out the window, right? It's the all or nothing mentality kicks in, and it can become a really kind of it can become like, a bit of a problem, right? So the Christmas period, let's be honest, my friend, right? It can be really, really challenging, right? And like I said, we can leave 2022 not at our best, right? So, if you're listening to this, right, do you struggle when it comes to Christmas? Okay. Because there's two ways Christmas can go for you, really, right? The reality is you can either say, fuck it, yeah, and hit the off button, hit that big shiny red off button and just go, fuck it, I'm going all in, right? Or I'm going to give you some golden steps today, my friend, right? You can follow these simple steps, really enjoy yourself, and come out of 2022 feeling at your best, right? Because that's what you want, really. So the first principle I want to share with you, right, is basically focusing on the occasion, right? A better Christmas, not a restricted Christmas, okay? Spend time with loved ones, right? Be present. Enjoy your time with those loved ones, right? Because let's be honest, it's very hard when we're busy. Some of you might have a really busy professional life. You're juggling kids. You've got a lot going on. And really, this kind of time is really precious, right? So a simple thing then, right, when it comes to food is, when you're not socializing, keep your food standard high, all right? Know your limits. And what I mean by that is, when you're not socializing and indulging, I'll come to that anyway now, right? But basically, you want to keep the food standards high outside of those occasions, ideally, right? Make amazing. If there's one thing you can take away, there's going to be a few things you're going to take away from this, right? But make amazing memories, all right? So I want to share the second principle with you as well, right? Which is very simple, and it's increase your activity, right? Now, we're big in Optimize Your Body within my coaching tribe on win in the morning, right? So it doesn't have to be rocket scientist. It doesn't have to be rocket science, but basically having some sort of structure to your morning is key, okay? Now, going out for a walk every day, for example, right? So win in the morning could literally just be hydrating, right? So drinking, half a liter to a liter of water upon waking. Yeah. Getting outside for a walk and getting at least 10 minutes of daylight. Simple, right? Doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Getting out for a walk every day, right? With your activity, just getting out for a walk every single day and making that non-negotiable, a good kind of, whatever, however long that walk is. But that's a good opportunity for you to bond with your family or friends or loved ones and get the family active, right? You can go out with them. Okay. And another good thing as well is after you've eaten, right? I've said this before, but just gravity, helping your food digest, and actually it'll help you realize you're satiated and balance your blood sugar levels and everything else. So that's a really good habit anyway. But if possible, right, get 2 to 3 sessions in a week over that period in terms of your weight training, right? Because ultimately you're going to put those extra calories to good use, right? Probably going to you could potentially make some strength gains and make some muscle gain. But also it's like, water retention and stuff like that, right? When you go to the gym, you pump blood into the muscles and water, it takes the water and the retention away from sometimes, your tummy or whatever, right? Tummy. I haven't used that word for ages, your stomach. But another big one, right, is just avoid the couch as much as possible, right? If you find yourself just like slouching on the couch for prolonged periods, ultimately you're just going to feel more lethargic and you're going to want to do less. Your energy levels are going to drop, right? Now, the third principle is a big one, my friend, right? So preparing your core meals. Again, at Optimize Your Body, we're huge on pre-planning and preparing, right? Because as the saying goes, fail to prepare, then prepare to fail, right? So what you want to have is like your two main healthy meals, ideally every day, okay? So you've got your two staple meals, and just, you can track or whatever that is with your food, however you're doing it, right? But ultimately, forget calories on Christmas Day, my friend. Like, you can take it too far. I'll be honest, I used to be the guy who used to track on Christmas Day. I wouldn't say I was obsessed. I probably was a little bit, but I was just curious. And I remember I had like 7,000 calories one day on Christmas Day, you know what I mean? But don't track and don't count calories on Christmas Day, my friend. There's more to life, right? There's more to life. If you overdo it though, right? Don't restrict the next day. You heard me. If you overdo it, don't restrict the next day, right? And if you don't plan ahead, right? If you don't plan ahead over that period in terms of, right, at least having your two core meals a day or whatever. I know if you might be out and about, you might be traveling, that's cool. You can't always do that, right? But just being mindful, okay? But if you don't plan ahead somewhat, yes, you need to relax. I don't want you bloody planning out and mapping out your Christmas period. I'm not saying that. But having a little bit of structure goes a long way, right? And if you don't plan ahead, my friends, guess what? It just won't be done, all right? So, peer pressure is a big one as well, right? So peer pressure is huge, all right? When you're around people and you want to enjoy yourself and you want to loosen up, you might want to have a few drinks and eat. But, sometimes you're going to get peer pressure. Oh, go on, have another this, have another that, have another drink. Oh, you're not going to eat this, you're not going to eat that. And before you know it, you're getting pressured into all sorts of things, right? So just be mindful of that, right? And I wanted to share the next principle now. Principle 4, right, is being mindful. Okay, this is a big one. This is huge. Like I said at the start, right, there's a fine line between enjoyment and sabotage, right? And I'm going to explain to you what that is now, enjoyment versus sabotage. Now, smart choices, right? There's always a better option, my friend, right? So ultimately, making smart choices where you can with your food or getting up to go out for a walk, for example, goes a long way, right? But focusing on high food volumes. And what I mean by that is outside of the occasions, or even actually when you're having your Christmas dinner or you're having, dinner with loved ones or out eating or whatever, just trying to focus on high volume foods. In other words, plenty of vegetables because they're really high in volume and high in fiber and low in calories. And basically meat as well, like lean protein sources, right? They're going to be high in protein as well, which is going to really blunt your appetite and keep you satiated, right? So plenty of meat and veggies goes a long way, right? But ultimately, my friend, you've got to take ownership as well, right? Because you are the boss of what goes into your own mouth. And I want you to enjoy this period and enjoy some of those foods, right? You're the boss here, right? You're in charge. But ultimately, the food isn't going anywhere, right? Let's be honest, my friend. The food is not going anywhere. All right. It's going to be there for a while. Okay. So don't panic and feel like you've got to eat it all in one sitting, right? Because it's not going anywhere. So I think this is the last principle now, right? But principle 5 is another big one as well. I've talked about this on other podcasts, slowing down your eating, right? Now, chewing your food is a huge part of the digestion process, right? There's actually enzymes in your saliva which help break the food down. But more importantly, chewing your food is a form of mindful eating, right? Being mindful of actually chewing your food. I've said this before, putting your knife and fork down, right? In between bites, chewing your food and actually, maybe looking around and listening to the conversation going on around you. Once you've swallowed your food, don't talk with your mouth full. Just you focus on good conversation, right? Take your time and focus on your chewing. Okay, that's a big one. So also as well, like enjoying the conversation, right? Like I just said then, rather just focusing on inhaling your meal, right? And finishing your meal like I used to do, right? I used to be like a bloody, a vacuum. I literally inhale that shit. But, give yourself, this is a big one as well, an inside tip for you, my friend. I'm giving away so much here. I'm in such a good mood. Give yourself 20 to 30 minutes, right? Before going for your seconds. So once you've had that main meal, chill out, have good conversation, drink some water, whatever. Try and give it 20 to 30 minutes at least before you go for your seconds. And what you'll notice is obviously it takes around about give or take 15 to 20 minutes for that signal to get to your gut to actually tell you that you're full. All right. And what you'll notice then is you're likely to probably eat less. If you just go bang, bang, back to back, main meal, straight into dessert, you're not giving your brain a chance to send that signal And then ultimately you're going to likely eat more, right? Unnecessarily sometimes. You can drink water in between bites. This is debatable. There's a little bit of research to show that you should ideally drink your water, 15 minutes before and then maybe 10, 15 minutes after you've eaten, but it's kind of splitting hairs. I'd recommend just staying hydrated, drink some water in between bites if you're not hydrated, or just really focus on having a even better tip is just have a pint of water before you actually eat your food, right? And again, you're going to probably be more satiated then as well. But what you want to be doing is you want to pick like heavy, moderate, light social occasions, right? If you're very social, okay? So you're going to have some occasions which are going to be heavy, you know what I mean? Which you're going to be like, okay, this is going to be one where I'm going to take a hit. I'm going to indulge a lot. I'm going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? I'm going to socialize. You're going to have some which are more moderate and some which are just like light, right? So there's going to be different types of social occasions. So just be aware of which ones are which, right? And just like plan ahead. So you can go, right, okay, this one's going to be a heavy one. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get even more movement in, and I'm going to basically, have my core meals, get my workouts in, etc. It's pretty straightforward, my friend. It's never rocket science. I'm not here to Optimize Your Body podcast to give you a load of bullshit and sugarcoat things. I'm very down the line. I don't piss around and give you all these shiny objects. I'm just telling you what works, having coached so many people and had so many great transformations, right? And what you're going to look at, the outcome of you implementing, by the way, like I always say, don't try and do all of the things I mentioned, right? Like just try and dissect a few things out of this. Be mindful and implement that. You know what I mean? Maybe add a few things into your notes so you can refer to it. I don't want you thinking of me too much over Christmas. That's a bit weird, right? I want you to be present, right? But just take a few of these and put them into your notes and implement a few of these simple things. It'll go a long way. And the outcome will be you'll enjoy your Christmas more than ever before, my friend. All right? You're going to feel great in yourself and about the future to come, when you get to the end of the year. And you're going to start 2023, the new year in a strong position, just like myself and clients. All right. So what I want you to do is always, right, after this podcast, I want you to get your notes out and just write down what stood out to you the most. Okay. What stood out to you the most? What did you take away from that? Don't write down a list as long as you're on, my friend. Just write down a couple of things that stood out to you the most. And be mindful, implement those things over Christmas. And then you'll be able to have the balance of enjoying yourself, having a great time, being present, but not hitting that big shiny red off button and sabotaging everything and feeling like dog shit at the end of the year. None of us want to finish the year feeling like that. Let's be honest, right? So all good in the hood, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. And if you like this podcast, my friend, please do me a massive favor because literally this podcast is changing lives. I'm going to be honest. And we want more people to get this valuable content. So if you can go over to Spotify or iTunes, wherever you listen, and give me a rating and review, just take a minute. That would be a massive help, my friend. I'd really, really appreciate that. And also, I love connecting with people. So many people reach out to me. Don't be shy, my friend, right? I'm friendly, okay? So reach out to me on Instagram at Martin Silva Fitness, or tag me on your story so I can see who you are and where you're at. Tag this episode in your story if you liked it. And get it out there to more people. And yeah, just reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you, my friend. And signing out. Hope you're good. Speak soon.